Don't move to Seattle until watching this, seriously.
There are a few things about living here that most people don't find out until after they unpack their boxes and start asking themselves,
what did I sign up for? Now, I would typically say make sure you stay till the very end, but you guys are going to want to stay through the middle, the end, the beginning, all of it. We're going to go over so much good information today. We're going to dive into traffic. We're going to talk about the weather. We're going to talk about the rain. We're going to talk about cost of living and even that Seattle freeze that people like to talk about. So with me being practically a native, I've lived here for 40 years. I've lived in 4 different Seattle suburb locations, and there are some true facts that I'm going to vouch for today. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so that you can be in the know about anything Seattle related in real estate. I'm Carrie Konecki, your local Seattle real estate expert, and every day I'm getting calls, texts, emails, and Zoom invites from people just like you looking to move to Seattle, Washington. So if that's you, drop down in my description. All of my contact information is there for you. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90, across the world, across the country, or just across town, I'm here to help make your move exactly what you want it to be. Let's start with the obvious, the weather. Yes, it rains here, and it does rain a lot, but it's not the way that most people think it is. It's not always thunderstorms and downpours. Sometimes it is. In fact, it was like that yesterday, but it's more of like a constant misty drizzle from about November to April. It's damp, it's gray, and the sunshine becomes more of a local event. Like, we all get so excited when the sun comes out. But today, this is October, and today has been absolutely beautiful. The sun's been out. It's not super cold, but it hasn't rained at all today. So it just depends on the day. We definitely see the sun for sure. Like I said, people will literally cheer when the sun comes out. We joke that summer doesn't officially start until July 5th. So we get through the 4th of July. There have been a lot of 4th of Julys, don't get me wrong, that have been absolutely beautiful. But we typically, in our mindset plan, July 5th is when our summer starts. If you're someone who thrives on warm weather and loves that bright light, this can hit pretty hard. Seasonal affective disorder is real. Many locals use daylight lamps. They plan midwinter breaks to get out of here, to recharge. But here's the upside. When the summer does arrive, it's absolutely stunning. 75 degrees, sometimes even 90. A lot of locals are actually installing AC units into their houses. And I've also found when I'm selling a house, a lot of times that's one of their main questions. Does this house have AC? So don't get me wrong, we have absolutely beautiful sunlight, amazing summers, but there's nothing really like living here in the summer. It's gorgeous. Next, let's talk about the cost of living in Seattle. It is not cheap here, you guys. You probably are well aware of that. Our housing prices are well above the national average. Median home price in our area is hovering around $1 million. And if you're looking to live on the east side, like Bellevue or maybe even Kirkland, it's going to be closer to $1.5 million. So us locals are trying to wrap our head around how are kids even going to be able to afford living here. So you will actually find a lot of families who want their kids to not leave the state. They're actually upgrading and trying to find these kind of compounds, right, where you have property, maybe there's a separate house on that property, maybe there's a detached garage with an apartment. So a lot of actual families are looking for that extra multifamily lot. Even rent is expensive. A 1-bedroom apartment is going to run you anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a month. It's crazy. Then you add your groceries, your utilities, parking, your 10% sales tax. It all adds up. The good news is there is no state tax in Washington, so that's a big perk compared to places like California. And if you love the Seattle lifestyle, but you really want more space and you want a stronger sense of community, you're going to want to look towards those Seattle suburbs. So places like Woodinville, Bothell, even Snohomish. It's not going to be necessarily cheaper, but your money is going to go more towards privacy, larger lots, and you're still going to be close to those major tech hubs. Seattle traffic, well, it is a character all on its own. The combination of bridges and lakes and limited freeway routes means congestion is just going to be part of your daily life. If you live in Seattle and work on the east side or vice versa, you are going to be using those main freeways, which is going to be either 405 or I-5 and sometimes even 520. They all get congested. They all have that rush hour traffic, and sometimes it can be several.
A 10-mile commute can easily take 45 minutes on the daily.
Light rail is expanding, which is awesome, but depending on where you work, you're going to likely still need a car. So a lot of my clients who work in Seattle but do live on that east side, whether it's Woodinville, Redmond, or Duval, just for that quieter space and just kind of slower lifestyle, just make sure that you're actually timing out your commutes during that rush hour traffic, because that does make a big difference as far as location of where you live to where you work.
Like many big cities, Seattle has visible homelessness and drug issues in certain neighborhoods.
Areas like Belltown, Pioneer Square, and parts of Capitol Hill have that rougher feel at times. That said, there's also areas like Queen Anne, Green Lake, Magnolia that they feel completely different. The city is actually working on solutions, but it's something that you should be aware about, especially when you're wanting to choose the appropriate neighborhood for your family. If safety and space are priorities for you, the east side suburbs are wonderful. We have the Kirkland, Redmond, Snohomish, Woodinville. They just tend to feel cleaner, quieter, and more community oriented. Have you ever heard of the Seattle freeze? It is real, especially for those who are newcomers. People here are kind and polite and helpful, but it can take time to form those deeper friendships. Seattleites already have their social circles from either work or from college, so breaking it can take some time.
My advice, get involved, join local gyms, volunteer, attend community events, or even join a networking group.
And that is exactly how I built some of my closest relationships, through those community involvement events, even business networking events. And there are so many options here for things to do. There's groups like hiking groups, there's co-ed soccer teams, there's book clubs, and even mom groups. So there's a ton of different events and groups and just clubs that people can get involved with. So that's definitely something that I would encourage. Once you find your people though, Seattle friends are loyal and genuine. I have a very funny story. It was about 4 years ago, and it was brought to my attention, this term Seattle freeze. And to be honest with you, I had never heard of it before. I was completely oblivious, but it must be some term that people coming to our area have just kind of defined as how they felt about some of their encounters. And it is kind of sad, but I've never experienced it. I think people are amazing and loyal again. So again, once you kind of get involved in some groups, it is not something that you'll notice at all. So hopefully you don't have that experience. Seattle scenery is absolutely stunning.
Trees, lakes, trails, mountains, but that lush greenery comes with maintenance. Slippery decks, endless leaves, your pressure washer will be your next best friend. Here is an example of our shed. Currently has a lot of moss on its roof.
Now, if you're coming from Arizona or California, the constant dampness can be an adjustment. But here's the trade-off. Within an hour, you can be hiking or skiing, paddleboarding, wine tasting in Woodinville. The outdoor lifestyle here is unmatched. Seattle has its own vibe. It's casual, tech-driven, eco-conscious, and a little bit reserved. You'll see more Patagonia and Allbirds than you will high heels and suits. And if you're coming from LA and New York, it can feel a little bit understated, but that is the beauty of it. People here just love to be creative. They love to express themselves, and we are all about community. You'll find amazing local coffee shops every corner, cute little bakeries, small businesses, farmers markets, and people who genuinely love to live here. So should you move to Seattle, Washington? Well, if you can handle a little bit of rain, that higher cost of living, and finding your own circle, the reward is incredible. You'll have access to nature, job opportunities, culture, and some of the most beautiful summers that you'll experience in the country.
The key to living a beautiful life in the Seattle suburbs is finding that right neighborhood that fits your lifestyle.
And that's where I come in. I love helping buyers discover which areas truly match how they want to live, whether that's walkable energy of Kirkland, that vibrant life in Seattle, or even that peaceful wine country feel of Woodinville. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe and follow along so that you can be in the first to know all that's happening in the Seattle, Washington area and even our amazing Seattle suburbs. I'm Carrie Konecki, your local Seattle real estate expert, and every day I'm getting calls and texts and emails from people just like you looking to move to the Seattle, Washington area. Whether you're moving in 9 days or even 90 across the world or just across town, I'm here to help make your move exactly what you want it to be. So until next time, I look forward to showing you around town.